see, this is my channel, The Fancy Hat Lady Reads. I'm wearing one of my fancy booktube hats, and today I'm doing a kind of sloppy TBR for the month of November. I've been very overwhelmed by all of the things I've kind of committed myself to reading recently, so in November I decided I wasn't really going to participate in any readathons, and I wasn't going to give myself any strict rules for how far I want to get in my TBR stack this month. We're just gonna see how it goes. I will, for example, not be participating in Tome Topple for the first time, and it's sort of a weight off my shoulders. But I think I'm going to tell you what's on my currently reading shelf right now and then move on from there. The first couple things that I finished already in November, things that I started back in October. I just finished them up in this month. They were on last month's TBR, so I'm not going to list those again. What I'm reading right now are two different NetGalley arcs. The first being the Overneath by Peter S. Beagle, which is his new short story collection that was out yesterday. I'm a little over a third of the way through this. I want to get my review up soon. It's not that long. I may be able to finish it tonight. And then the other one that I've just started is Artemis by Weir, also out this month, so look for reviews of those soon. They are my highest priority reads right now. The other NetGalley arc that I want to read in November is going to be The Girl in the Tower. This is the sequel to The Bear and the Nightingale by Katherine Arden. This one is out, I think, in December in the US, but not until January in the UK. Regardless, I want to have it read by the American release date. There are two other things that are not particularly high priority for me to get through, but hopefully I will get through them. One of them being The Secret Keeper by Kate Morton, which has been slow for me. I put this down halfway through back in September, didn't read any of it in October, but I need to just finish this because this is my mom's copy and I've had it for over a year and I need to get it back to her. I've maybe had it coming up on 2 years now. That might be a thing. But this got pushed to the side when I had a really ambitious October TBR. My goal is to get this back to my mom by Christmas. And then the other thing is on my Kindle, and this is the Olive Fairy book. This is one of the Andrew Lang colored fairy books of collected fairy tales. This happens to be one of the later ones in the series, and awkwardly it's also the first one in the series that I've read because I didn't grow up with these or anything. But I'm reading this because one of the stories in this book, The Snake Prince, is the current original story that is a group read for the Goodreads group Into the Forest, and that group read goes through the 14th. So I had kind of wanted to read the whole book by the end of that group read period. I think I may just jump ahead to that story and then finish the book at my own leisure. So because this is just a fairy tale collection, it's the sort of thing where I can just pick up a story anytime I want until I'm done with them. The other current group read for this group that I haven't read, ironically, it is also the one for this read-along period that I was most excited for, but I haven't gotten to it, is Bryony and Roses by T. Kingfisher. The reason I haven't read this is because I was reading two other Ursula Vernon books in October, and I do like to space out reading books by the same author. So the discussions for that group don't close at the end of the read-along period, so I may just read this in November or December or who knows when, but hopefully I'll be reading it sometime soon-ish. And then the middle of this month is when the new set of group reads that will go from the middle of this month to January 14th will open. 2 of the 3 of those books are books I own, so I'll be reading those too. I probably won't get to these until December, but just in case I do pick them up earlier. The first is Briar Rose by Jane Yolen, and the second is Wonder Tales: 6 French Stories of Enchantment, which is a collection of fairy tales from 17th century France, edited by Marina Warner. This one I nominated for the group read, so I feel like I have to read it since it won. It actually tied with another story that I might read as well because that's just one short story. So that's everything before I even get to what I'm thinking of as my regular November TBR. These are all the other books that I just want to read because they're the books I want to read right now. The first is Sisters of the Crescent Empress by Leena Likitalo. This is the sequel to The Five Daughters of the Moon. I have an ARC copy, but this I think came out yesterday, so I want to get my review for this duology up really soon. Next, I want to continue what has turned out to be my snail's pace read of the Fairyland series with The Boy Who Lost Fairyland, which is the 4th book. I have 2 science fiction classics that I feel almost ashamed that I still haven't read at this point, given how long I've had them. The first is The Dispossessed by Ursula K. Le Guin, and the second is The Forever War by Joe Haldeman. As I said, science fiction classics. And then I have a reread that I have been pushing off and pushing off month by month for like maybe a year now, just because I keep overcommitting to reading other things, and that is Chalice by McKinley. This is the only book of hers that I gave 5 stars when I first read it that I have never reread. I meant to read it this summer because I thought it would be a great book to read in the summer. Alas, that did not occur, but I really enjoy rereads, and I want to get to one this month. And then, lest you thought this was the end, this would have been the end, except I did say that I wasn't participating in readathons in November, except there's going to be one because the Getting Graphic readathon hosted by Caitlin from Kitty G and Elena from Elena Reads Books is happening this Saturday on the 11th, and it's just a one-day readathon that I found to be very non-stressful last time I participated, because graphic novels are easy to read and you don't have to read a lot of them to participate. So I may just only casually participate. I may only read like one thing, but if I read just one thing, I will have participated. I have 4 graphic novel things that I either own on my TBR or have out from the library right now. I have holds on a few more at the library, but I don't know if they'll come in time, and I really am not stressing over it. If I read these 4 things, that'll be way more than enough for me. The first is the Encyclopedia of Early Earth by Isabel Greenberg. I absolutely adored the 100 Nights of Hero, so I am way overdue to pick up this one. The next 2 are the ones I have out from the library. They are both second volumes in series that I read the first volumes of last round of this readathon. The first being March Book 2 by John Lewis, Andrew Aiden, and Nate Powell. This is John Lewis's graphic memoir of his participation in the civil rights movement. And then the other one is Hilda and the Midnight Giant by Luke Pearson. This is absolutely tiny, even though it looks big here, because this is a kids graphic novel series about Hilda and her adventures with sort of folklore creatures. The first one, Hilda and the Troll, was downright adorable. And then the last thing I have is a recent purchase for me that I haven't hauled yet, but it shouldn't be much of a surprise. This is The Girl from the Other Side, Volume 3. This is a manga series that I'm enjoying, and this 3rd volume was just released at the end of October. So those are my graphic novel things that I may pick up 1 or 2 or more of on Saturday. I'm not setting aside the day for the readathon or anything. We're just gonna see how it goes. So those are all the things that I might or might not get to in November. Let me know if you've read any of these things, what you think. Let me know how you're doing, if you are participating in any readathons in November or anything. Anyhow, I hope you're having a nice day. That is all. Bye for now.